It's Jack from B&T MacFarlane, and today we're going to go over the pros and cons of loading your tires with ballast, so let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about tire ballast and what it means to load your tire with ballast. So whenever someone mentions that their tires are filled, they're filled with ballast, or they have tire ballast, it means that there's something inside of the rear tires of the tractor that weigh it down. This can be anything from water in southern climates to rim guard to calcium on some older tractors that add weight to the back tractor and act as a ballast when you're using that front end loader. Because like I've mentioned in many videos, if you're using that front end loader, you need to have some kind of weight on the rear of the tractor in order to weigh it down, so when you lift something up with the loader, you don't flip forward with the tractor. So loading up your tires with some kind of ballast is a very popular solution that a lot of people do to their tractor, and we're going to go into today some of the pros and cons with actually doing this. The biggest pro with filling your tires with ballast is it's easy. You don't have to worry about putting an implement back here, worry about what size of implements back here to be sufficient counterbalance. It's always on your tractor, you never have to take it off, and you don't even have to think about it. You just hop on your tractor and go. You don't have to worry about putting on that implement on the back here, getting a ballast box for the back of your tractor. Again, it's just always on your tractor. If you're looking for an affordable way to add ballast to your tractor, filling it up with some kind of fluid is definitely the cheapest route that you can go. For a tractor like this, it would only cost you about $400 to $600 to fill it up with rim guard or agrilim that won't freeze in this Canadian climate. When compared to a ballast box, that's going to be about $1,000, or some kind of heavy implement back here can be in the thousands of dollars. So if you just want weight on the back of your tractor and you're just using the front end loader, this again is a very attractive choice. And then if you do decide to get an implement for your tractor and you have filled tires, that's no problem at all. You're gonna have basically twice the amount of ballast. Not only are you gonna have heavier tires, you're also gonna have a ballast off the back of the tractor, which gives you even more lift capacity out of your loader and can add to the stability. So if you're gonna be using this in the winter time with a snowblower and filled tires, your tractor is gonna be really stable and really planted when you're using the tractor. If you fill your tractors with fluid, you end up shortening the length of it because you don't have an implement on the back of the tractor, which can add 3, 4, 5 feet of length to the tractor. So if you're going to be using the tractor in a tighter area on your bush property, going through trees, doing brush, that sorts of things with it, filling up your tires is a very attractive choice. You can save your lift capacity, you can keep that good lift capacity with having a smaller tractor package, because you can have no implements back here. You can even take the 3-point hitch off completely to shorten it by another 6 inches to a foot. The first con with filling your tires with ballast is kind of what a pro was, but in another sense, is that the fluid is always there. There's going to be situations when you might not want a heavier tractor. If you're just moving light loads of topsoil or mulch across your lawn, you don't want your tractor to be big and heavy on the rear end to rip up your lawn. Sometimes you do want a little bit lighter tractor. So if you have fluid in the tires, that doesn't give you as much versatility when changing the weight of your tractor. Another disadvantage with filling your tires with ballast is that it makes the ride a little bit rougher. Say for example, this M6 101, if you were to fill these tires with ballast, it would make the ride on the road extremely rough because you don't have the cushion of air to kind of soften the blows of some of the bumps you'd experience on the road. So on a tractor like this, you would never fill the tires because its primary use is to run it on the road. You would get an alternative like wheel weights that can come on and off while still keeping that cushion of air when you're running on the road. The last disadvantage of filling your tires with ballast is the maintenance of the tires themselves. If you get a puncture on your rear tire and there's liquid in it, it makes a giant mess, especially if you end up doing this in your garage, on your driveway, or somewhere where you don't want tens of gallons of fluid spilt everywhere. It can make for a pretty big cleanup, and not to mention, if you have to do any service to the axle or the rear axle of the tractor itself, you're gonna have to take off that back tire, and if you have fluid in it, this tire can weigh 400 or 500 pounds depending on the size of the tire. So it ends up being a pretty big chore to actually move the tractor tire. And that's where we're gonna end today's video. If you have any comments down below of why you filled your tractor with tire ballast or why you didn't, I'd love to hear them down below in the comments. And as always, if you're liking the videos, remember to like and subscribe. If you need help with part sales or service, give us a call at 613-225-0555. Thank you.